What's up, guys? Welcome back to The Educated Barfly. Today we're going to be deep diving the Mojito, and I'm going to show you 3 different approaches to this drink. The drinks industry as a whole, and this is especially true for the home bartender, really suffers from what I like to call traditionalism. That is the idea that there is only one correct approach to a drink, and that's it. And the most beloved classics, such as the old fashioned and whiskey sours, and of course Mojitos, really inspires this attitude. But the truth is, there isn't just one way to approach a cocktail. For most, if not all cocktails, there are several correct builds. I like to say that there's no such thing as right and wrong, but there is such thing as good and bad. And the journey is learning to differentiate between the two. That type of traditionalism is the enemy of progress, and we'll all do a lot better if we banish that attitude. And I've got to say that I've also been very guilty of this traditional approach, even if you look at early videos on this channel. We're gonna do rye Manhattans because rye Manhattans are traditional, and I'm not even gonna go into the whole, bourbon thing. If you guys wanna do bourbon Manhattans, don't tell me about it, and I won't slap you. I just think that when people first discover craft cocktails and they start to learn to make drinks well, and then they think about all of those terrible drinks that they've had in the past, it sort of inspires this. This is just something that I think most bartenders or home bartenders kind of need to go through. Once you discover how to do things well, and then you think about all those terrible drinks that you've had in the past, it's very easy to go all in on this is the only way to do things. There's many different ways to approach a cocktail and do it well. And so on that note, today we're going to show you 3 different ways to approach the Mojito, each variation only slightly different from the other. And hopefully, if we've done our job, you'll see that those small differences have a pretty major impact on the final drink, and that all of these variations are worth a mix. But before we get into any of that, let's talk about the history a little bit. The origins of the Mojito are a bit muddy, like many other cocktails. Some say the drink originated from an earlier drink discovered by explorer and privateer Sir Francis Drake while exploring Cubas. Some say that the Havana bartender named Constantino Rebeligua created it in Havana at the La Floridita bar, and some others say that it was Cuban bartenders riffing off the mint julep that gave life to this cocktail. Wherever and whenever it comes from, we know that it's a Cuban drink made with good rum, mint, lime, and sugar, and that it's essentially a highball drink that everyone should learn. Mojito, more than any other drink, is one of those seemingly simple drinks with the ability to transport you to another time and place when you drink it. It's also one of those drinks that evolves as it dilutes, giving you a marked difference between the first and last sip. So first things first, we're gonna build the most common Mojito you'll find when ordering this out at a quality bar. This is the version that I think most people will expect when you order this drink. Oh, I just one little note as well, and just touch on what kind of mint you use. Technically, most people use spearmint for the Mojito. That being said, I use the mint that I can get, and honestly, different mints are gonna give you kind of slightly different Mojitos. I know people who use Mojito mint, I know people who use pineapple mint. There's a lot of different types of mint you can use, and they all work pretty well. But if you wanna be like really traditional about it, it would be spearmint. So the first Mojito we're doing is what I like to call the common Mojito, which is just the common version of this drink you'll find if you go to a quality bar and order it. 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. We're gonna do 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup. We're gonna do 1.5 ounces of white rum. We're gonna be using Bacardi. We're gonna add 5 to 6 mint leaves to the bottom of our tin, and we're gonna reserve the sprigs for garnish. And then we're just gonna give it a light little press. And then what we're gonna do, before we even shake it, we're gonna take a little bit of soda water here. We're gonna put it at the bottom of the glass like so. We're gonna add in some ice cubes. And add some ice to our tin. Let's give it a nice shake. And then strain it into our glass like so. And give our mint the old slappy poo and a little crushy pants. Twist off the stems, garnish, and give it a sip. Yeah, just like a very nice, very clean version of Mojito. Obviously you get the mint, lime, sugar, and rum. I gotta say that with that 1.5 ounces to 2 ounces of soda water that's inside the glass, you get a little bit more effervescence, and then it also lengthens the flavors out, so it's not as intensely lime, and you lose a little bit of the rum. So there you go, the common Mojito. So for the next Mojito we're building, we're gonna be doing it in a more traditional kind of way. And we're gonna need a little mixing glass, because what I'm gonna do actually here is get the steps of what I need to do in my mind first. We're just gonna cut up a lime here. Limes have been very pale lately, that I've been finding. So we're doing this because I don't want any little lime bits in the glass, but I wanted to press it so that I get all of those good oils from the peel into the juice. And then so we're just gonna fine strain it here to make sure that it's devoid of any pulp. So we set aside our lime juice. So we're gonna do 5 or 6 mint leaves here, reserving the sprigs for garnishing. And then we're gonna add 1 ounce of our lime juice, just directly in the glass. 1/2 ounce of rich simple syrup. And then because we can, we're gonna be using a little Cuban rum. We're using the 3-year here, and we're gonna do 2 ounces of the Havana Club. So for this one, we're gonna be using crushed ice as opposed to pebble ice. So I used my handy ice crusher to make it. It's pretty similar to pebble, but a little bit smaller. Where's my scoop? There it is. Don't forget your scoop. So then we're just gonna add some ice into here, like so. And then instead of muddling, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take our spoon and we're gonna turn the mint through the glass, like so. And we're just gonna lightly press it with the spoon, kind of distributing it throughout the glass. And this way we're gonna chill down our cocktail and muddle our mint. We're gonna fill the rest up with our crushed ice, like so. And we're gonna, what are we gonna do, Marius? What are we gonna do? He doesn't get the prompt for some reason. We're going to slappy poo, crushy pants, of course, twist off the bottoms, add this into our glass like so. Give it a sip. Now this one is much more intensely lime in flavor. We have approached this, kind of the other way that you would approach a sour, with 1 ounce of lime juice and then 1/2 ounce of rich simple syrup to balance that out. You still get a lot of tartness of the lime, and you get a much more vibrant lime flavor that you get from the oils, from pressing the actual fruit and then using that juice. It is also pretty nicely mint, but it's not super intense. Of course, you're gonna get a nice waft of mint as you sip it, which is gonna inform your flavor. I like this one a lot, and what's nice is that the rum is not completely lost in the drink. So you'll notice that I didn't put any soda water in this. Honestly, I've seen videos of people making it in Cuba, and half the videos I've seen, they add soda water. Half the videos I've seen, they don't add any soda water. So I think it's fair to say that either way that you build this is gonna be more traditional. But what I like about not having soda water in here is that you're not lengthening those flavors. And so you get much more intense lime, much more intense rum in the cocktail. So there it is, the more traditional mojito. So the last mojito that we're doing today is what we'll just call Leandro's preferred mojito. This is the mojito that I have built on this channel all of these years. It is my absolute favorite way, and now I can say that officially because I've tried a bunch of different techniques, and to me, this one is the best. So first thing we're gonna do is grab our tin and a lime, and we're gonna cut 4 wedges out of 1/2 a lime. So in half and then into quarters. If you have a very small lime, just FYI, use 6 pieces. Then we're gonna do 8 to 10 mint leaves into the bottom of our tin, reserving the sprigs for garnish. And then we're gonna take these lime pieces and we're actually gonna try and place them peel side down into the tin. So there's another little technique that people do that I don't actually do. But if you wanna kind of control the bitterness, you can cut off the pith of the lime wedges and then you will not get as much bitterness. For me, I really like that little bitter twinge in your back palate, and so I leave it on, but you can cut it off if you'd like. And next, we're gonna take 1 medium-sized sugar cube, 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. And what we're doing here is actually putting some of the sweetness on a time release. So that 1/2 ounce of simple syrup is going to immediately balance the lime juice that's in there, and then you're gonna have some crushed up sugar that is not going to fully dissolve right away. As the ice starts to melt, the sugar will start to dissolve and it will get a little bit sweeter and a little bit sweeter as you go, kind of balancing it more fully. So what you have is a very tart sip on your first sip and then a sweeter sip on that last sip and throughout the drink. So we're gonna give this guy a muddle, and we're gonna be kind of careful. You wanna crush up that sugar cube as much as possible. You wanna extract all of the juice out of each wedge. You also want to extract the oils out of the peel, but you don't want to over muddle that mint because you don't want to get those kind of chlorophyll and green flavors in the drink. And that's why we put the wedges on top, because you're just pressing the mint and you have a barrier between your muddler and the mint so that you don't over extract it. Now we're gonna add 2 ounces of Cuban rum or any white rum or light rum that you like. And for this cocktail, I'm using my beloved pebble ice. And we're just gonna put a little touch into the tin, just a skosh. And we give it a nice whip shake. And you can shake till the ice is fully or almost fully dissolved. And then we're just going to dump it into the glass like so, all of the contents. We're gonna add some pebble. Take our mint sprig, do the thing. Kind of a small mint sprig, that's okay. Look at these very long straws. You don't need a very long straw. give it a sip. For me, that is the best. You get very vibrant mint flavor. You get the tartness of the lime, immediately balanced out with sugar. And so what you have is 3/4, right? 3/4 ounces of lime is pretty much what you get, to an ounce, depending on how big those lime wedges are. And then you get, you know, that immediate balance as this goes. Like I said earlier, it's going to get a little sweeter and a little sweeter. But for me, this is just like the most intensely flavored mojito. Very minty and very rum forward and balanced with sugar. So there you have it, Leandro's preferred mojito. So there it is, guys. 3 mojitos done very differently, and then all of them very good and worth a mix. So go out, make a couple of different mojitos, compare them, contrast them, enjoy your mojitos, and I will see you guys on another time.